Every day, people meet hundreds, maybe thousands of people that pass by in their everyday lives without actually seeing or meeting them personally. But one of those times, or one of these days, we're going to be put into an environment where we will actually have to sit down and talk to another human being. Yes, the dreaded first meeting, first impression, first look, first everything. It may be a little bit strange to say that it is dreaded, but in my experiences, I've always been sweating bullets and or fearing meeting new people every time. I always want to make the best first impression for everybody I see, but it always isn't the case. Today, I'd like to review a little bit of mannerisms and politeness while meeting somebody new, so maybe it'll help you out when you meet somebody new. The whole idea of this meeting somebody new experience is very confusing to me, because you don't really think about it in real life. Most of the time, it just happens. It can start with a little hi, hello, and depending on how you respond from there, you can foster friendship, build foundations, or kind of be known as an awkward person, or maybe be known as somebody that they don't like. So, how is it when you meet people that all these things can come across within the first 7 seconds? Well, it's all in the first impression. Because when somebody says hi to you, what they're expecting back is the way you say hi. I would say that the way you communicate yourself with other people is very important, because that shows other people how you would normally communicate and to see if they will fit well with you or not. So let's do the whole first meeting type of thing. You meet somebody, you want to hang out, school, playground, restaurant, wherever. They invited you over, or maybe even their house if you're that good of a friend, or if you're that open upon first meeting. They'll say hi. What is introduced when they say that? Oh, hey, how you doing? What is the purpose of your meeting here, right? The thing that you want to answer, or the thing you want to say first, is when you are put into an environment when everybody is forced to meet each other, it's a little bit different because you already have something in common. The thing that you want to do to make a good impression is find something that you have in common. And that could be done with a simple compliment. So let's just say you're in the situation, your friends are hanging out with a different group of friends, you guys come together, guys and gals start mingling, they start talking, and somebody says hi to you, how do you know this person? And then you're like, oh, hi, I know this person by blah, 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 blah. How do you know this person? You kind of try to keep the conversation going by reflecting and mirroring that conversation. Now let's say they don't say hi, and it feels kind of awkward. Everybody knows that there's separated groups in these friends sometimes, right? So you want to break the ice. You want to get to know some of these people and maybe feel less awkward. What do you do? Well, the first thing that you do is say hi. And the most obvious thing is, how do you know this person? But if you want to get to a deeper level of friendship and somewhat of a connecting level to know this person individually and not vicariously through person B, what you might want to say is pay them a small compliment that really shows them a little bit of your personality. So, for example, I sometimes really like shoes, but I don't know all types of shoes, and I'm not into shoes a lot, so I'm not like a shoe guru. But my favorite type of shoes are tennis shoes, because they just look great, and they have a bit of they go with a lot of things, actually. So, in my mind, if I see somebody wearing a pair of tennis shoes, and I don't know that person, and we are hanging out together, a perfect way to break the ice would be, oh, I really like your shoes. Are you into tennis shoes? And that would be like, But be forewarned, if you do that, you will be forever known to that person as the shoe person unless you find something else to talk about. So pay them a compliment and move on with the conversation because compliments work as an icebreaker. They make people think about what they have around them, or they let people know what you're all about on the first impression. So, with that being said, a lot of my friends actually are watch fanatics. I don't know a lot of it, but I know that they do, and I do learn a couple of things here and there from them. I remember one of my oldest friends since high school always was really into watches. His favorite brand was Omega. And I thought, wow, I have no idea what brands watches are. I only knew that my watch was from a Hong Kong shop and it was made in Japan. So it was good stuff. However, I don't know if that was the perfect way for me to dive into my friend's whole watch experience. But however, because of him and his teachings, let's just say, or his findings on a group, I thought that was interesting for me to meet his other friends when he went off to college that were kind of into watches as well. I just kind of piggybacked off of him and I was like, I don't know much about watches. I think my favorite brand is Omega just because that guy right there showed it to me. And they just said, oh, Omega, I love that one too. You should check this out. And therefore comes the conversation. Now, if it's something that you don't really care about or something that you don't know how to talk about, you should always accept it with a little bit of open arms because during the first meeting and the first impression, everybody just kind of gets an idea of who you are. And I think that's the best way for anybody to get out there or to network or make friends or to get to whatever you want to do later. Because it might not be that person who will help you out in your future or provide something that friends do, fun, exciting times, less boredom in your life, living vicariously through social means and etc. You can also meet up with other friends of that friend that might have more of the same interests you do. For me, it's always been League of Legends. So I think I'm actually way into this type of games. But before League of Legends, I actually was kind of an avid gamer too. I didn't know much about Mega Man or Final Fantasy, but I really started off doing those franchises. And I thought that each and every one was so fun because you get a character, you can control it, and you just live through a story that's actually pretty good. And I always thought that Mega Man was a kind of a thing that a select few can do just because it's not a high intensity game, but it does use a lot of button pushing and a lot of finger coordination for you to do certain things right, and it's always really fun just to play. And for me, I haven't met those people until I was in college. Some people were like, oh, blah blah blah, Mega Man's the best and all that other stuff, but I find that if I were to connect to somebody on the terms of geeking out on Mega Man terms alone, it'll be a little bit simulacra, a little bit fake just because I don't know what to say to that person. Because other than that, our like interests might not be the same. But it was a good geek out moment when you do have it. The point of the story is, in order to make good first impression and to make good friends, you have to kind of bring a core of yourself into the conversation that people know what you're really about. So I always start off with, I'm a pretty nice guy, but I try not to be too nice sometimes because I feel like a lot of people take advantage of me now. That shows you that, hey, this guy has a little bit of priorities. He identifies and analyzes his social surroundings enough to kind of meet the person and provide some sort of conversation. And overall, the way you say it, your tone in your voice, really makes or breaks the deal. So if you have a lighthearted tone, it's a lot easier for people just to share experiences with you without fear of being judged and etc. And that's what first meetings are all about. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. For the most part, I think that's what I wanted to cover today. how to meet somebody, how to talk to somebody, what to do when somebody doesn't talk to you, how to break the ice, and really just bring a part of yourself into whatever situation you want to. Of course, there are times where you just meet somebody and you're probably not going to meet them again, so you don't really want to bring it. But I would say always bring that, because you never know who presents themselves with an opportunity to you that might change your life forever. Because in this weird world, any one instance of the humongous time that you've been alive or will be alive might do something or change something that would affect your lives forever. So, if you can, always try to be open and honest with a little bit of niceness dashed in there somewhere, and I am sure that everything will be fine. There are specific cases, though, so we'll see how that plays out in the future, or when I'll make another video with those specific cases. But for now, hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, keep on being positive and awesome, and remember to have a little fun. And I'll see you in the next part of the show. All right.